What is going on, party people? I've actually never done a video quite like this. It's very different. I know. I mean, I've been the time teller since 2017, so there's been one presidential election since then, and I don't think I made a video really talking about it. I made one video talking about watches of the most hated people, and in that video where I covered watches from like a multitude of various people from all sides of the spectrum, I mentioned a few presidents, and people got super duper mad because that was a bit too spicy. I made a joke about Biden, and people didn't like that. But guess what? I also made jokes about Donald Trump, and whatever. I'm not going to tell anyone how to vote at all, ever. So don't worry. On this channel, we're not going to be talking about that. But we will be talking about how this could potentially alter or influence the watch market based upon which candidate will potentially take the helm. What's up, chat? People showing up. I wanted to do this as a live stream because, well, it literally is election day here in the United States, and this is just very, very, probably the most contentious election, definitely in my lifetime, but probably anyone on Earth right now. This is probably the most contentious, heated election on anyone's lifetime. So what we're going to do is I had ChatGPT help me out with this. All right. So ChatGPT, it's not perfect. It's not right all the time. People argue that it has various political leanings, and that's perfectly fine. But one thing it did help me with is I gave it a prompt, and I said, if there were, in a hypothetical world, a candidate like Trump and a candidate like Kamala Harris, with your full understanding of their foreign policy and their economic ideas and plans, how would this influence the watch market potentially in the future? So here we have NBC News. Election day has arrived. It's Harris versus Trump and the final push to the polls. Now, again, everything that I am saying here is hypothetical, and ChatGPT helped me with this. So these are not just simply my words. I had a computer help me with this. So if a Trump-like candidate won, his emphasis on economic growth and deregulation could boost luxury spending. This environment might lead to increased prices for luxury watches driven by higher demand and a stronger economy. Watch collectors might find it easier to access high-end pieces as manufacturers ramp up production to meet demand. However, this could also lead to longer wait lists for popular models due to increased competition among buyers. That sounds reasonable. Conversely, a Harris-like candidate's focus on social programs and environmental concerns might encourage a shift towards more sustainable luxury consumption. Brands with strong ethical practices or those that offer affordable luxury could see a rise in popularity. Prices for luxury watches might stabilize or even decrease if demand shifts towards more accessible options. Collectors might have to adapt to a market that values innovation and ethical considerations more than traditional luxury signals. Both scenarios would create different challenges and opportunities for watch enthusiasts and collectors. So this is, a positive spin on both ends. They're both going to have maybe some upsides. They're both going to have some downsides. It seems like a Trump-like candidate's emphasis on deregulation and boosting up the economy will lead to a ripple effect, increasing, production across manufacturers, which could stimulate the economy and offer more people the ability to buy luxury items, right, like watches. Conversely, a Harris-like candidate, if they took the helm, then potentially, them increasing regulation and taxes on these manufacturers might lead to people focusing more on ethical, more sustainable product models. Interesting. So I asked it to elaborate, and it gave me some more info. So, a Trump-like president might implement policies that favor deregulation, tax cuts, and business incentives, which could stimulate economic growth. That's kind of what we just touched upon. In such an environment, individuals and businesses could experience increased profitability and disposable income. That sounds pretty good, to be honest. More people having more money in their pockets, more people spending that money, gets the economy going, right? This scenario might lead to more money in people's pockets, potentially allowing for higher spending on luxury items like wristwatches. On the other hand, a Harris-like president might prioritize social programs, environmental policies, and progressive taxation. That's kind of code word for more taxation. As we go on, these incentives could lead to more government spending on public services, possibly resulting in a different distribution of wealth, while there might be a stronger safety net and support for lower income groups, which that sounds good. Higher taxes and regulation could impact disposable income for some individuals. So that's, another consideration. In terms of luxury spending on watches, according to ChatGPT, a Trump-like approach might create a more favorable environment for such purchases. In contrast, a Harris-like approach could lead to more cautious spending on luxury items, depending on how economic policies affect disposable income. And then, of course, there's a disclaimer. These are broad generalizations, and the actual impact would depend on a wide range of factors, including global economic conditions. So here's the thing, right? Global economic conditions, obviously, that's like, it's not just the United States. I have a very diverse following, even on this YouTube channel alone. So I understand it's not just America. However, America's economy definitely influences the rest of the world in a very, very big way. So the reason that this is incredibly contentious is because this isn't just being, focused on by Americans. This is pretty much a global sensation, the U.S. election, especially this time around. So I'm not going to tell anyone how to vote. I found it very interesting to kind of see a potential trajectory for both, candidate archetypes, right? One seems to put a premium on ramping up manufacturing, stimulating the economy, and lowering taxes, which could, again, give people more money in their pockets, which would allow them to spend more money on luxury goods. The downside of that in the watch world would be that prices might actually go up in the luxury market, and it might be more difficult to get the watch you want because there's a larger pool of prospective customers. Okay, that's the downside on that side. With Kamala Harris, or I should say a Kamala Harris-like candidate, that archetype may favor progressive taxation, which again is a code word for more taxes, and more government spending on social institutions, which again could potentially help lower income individuals. Now, those lower income individuals aren't luxury spenders in the first place. They're not really in the watch market, but that could actually lead to a further decrease, I should say, in the luxury watch market, as the pool of buyers gets smaller. I'm not a political analyst at all, and I'm not an economist. I'm just a watch enthusiast, and I find this very, very interesting to kind of, everyone wants to look at this political lens from every different angle, and a lot of it's gotten way too heated. A lot of it's gotten very, very, serious. And on my other channel, Everything is Gay. If you want to go over there, it's youtube.com/can we use that word? If one of my followers over there wants to link it, you know what? Dr. Bob's Nightmare, if you could link my channel in the chat there, people can go over there. I do a lot more kind of topical political commentary over there, and I try to have a more fun take on things because a lot of this is very serious. And on this channel, I found it very interesting to kind of examine this political landscape from the eye of something that's pretty low stakes, which is just, watch collecting. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going to happen. I will say, if you are in the United States, regardless of who you choose to vote for, you should go vote. I know that I talk about this all the time on the other channel. It's very easy to be jaded, to be nihilistic, to be a little bit, defeated. You look at the political climate and you say, oh, what's the point? My vote doesn't count anyway. Oh, there's people in power that are just going to make the decisions for us anyway, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I was there with you guys. I'm not preaching to you to tell you that you got to do your civic duty. But what I am saying is, you know what? If you're unhappy or you want to effect change, I don't know if our votes matter, but at least you can try. We know that that's one way that we can try, so why not just try? So if you haven't already, I urge you, go out and vote. Make a day of it. Go grab some food. I don't know where you are as far as your state goes, but go look when your polling stations close. If you're at work listening to me right now, your boss is supposed to give you some time off to go vote. So go take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and tell the time. It is 12:50 on the button. Let's get down to business. I am wearing a Rolex Explorer 2, reference number 16570. This is one of my favorite watches ever, and it's on a crown and buckle nylon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say NATO, but speaking of politics, NATO. It's a NATO strap. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the chat. Al Schmidt is here from Saskatoon. Mostly Harmless is here. Jake480 says, I'm from the UK, and I'm staying up all night to watch it. And then I'm going to have tea and crumpets, and then I'm going to go to the nearest chippy shop and have some mushy peas, and oh, it's going to be so splendid. John Pinner is here. Tim Scarborough says, make Seiko Q&A great again. Jean Cartier says, I'm pulling an all-nighter today. Tuki. Oh, Tuxi. Dude, I can never pronounce your name, but this person has been a viewer of mine for a very long time. What watch company would be an ideal official brand, for the White House? You know who I would like to see would be a brand like Hamilton. I think that would be so cool. If Hamilton was like the brand for the White House. I don't think that would ever happen, especially because they are a Swatch Group now. But I think that would be so cool. They were American. Jake 40 says Big Don for Prezi. Al Schmidt, Rolex has always been a presidential brand. Oh, the Rolex president. Greg Capella, Trump rules, bitches. Let's see. Yuri, the best, says, hi all. So what watches do Trump and Harris wear? Well, I don't know. And I've tried to add her to my pop culture videos where I kind of like assess people's watch collections. I don't really have anything for her, but Trump has been seen wearing actually some pretty cool watches. He actually likes gentleman-sized pseudo vintage watches. So he has some really obscure Pateks and Vacherons, but he's also been seeing some more conventional things like a Rolex Day-Date. So I actually think the watches that Trump wears for the most part are very cool. However, the watches that Trump sells, like those Trump branded watches, total garbage. And I've spoken about that on this channel. Ace 2021 says, make Tudor Rolex again. GG Easy says, is that the new Hamilton in your thumbnail? No, it's actually this, which is my Rolex Explorer 2. By the way, guys, I'm sipping on some coffee. You can go ahead and tell me what you're sipping on. I got this coffee called Thai coffee. So if you've had Thai tea, it has some Thai tea brewed with coffee. So I think this is probably just going to give me a panic attack, but it tastes very good. They made it very strong, so it's kind of a little bit bitter today, but that's perfectly fine. Jean Cartier says more made in America luxury watches. That would be nice, right? Enrique Tamashiro, certified T3 bot. AI can't comment politics, but we want to ask. Yeah, that's why I said, hypothetically speaking, with this type of candidate or this type of candidate. Problast says justice for Peanut. First it was Harambe, and we let that happen, and now it's Peanut and Fred. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my other channel. It's that showed me where I should vote. Okay, Bala says, I'm an outsider as I'm in Budapest and not very political, so came here to educate myself. My only hope is that you guys have a clear winner and trust remains in democracy if that's possible. I think the key word there is if that's possible. Who knows, right? John Pinner says she wears a Cartier. Ooh, okay, well then I like her watch too. Thai like to use a lot of condensed milk. That's true. Same with Vietnamese coffee. Bala, Jory, I saw you were selling Sarbo 17 on your website. Please don't tell me you sold your Sarbo 17. So, who wants a little rant about that? Green for go, red for no. Chat, comment green for go, and I will tell you a little sneaky thing, or red for no, and we will just ignore it. Jean Cartier says, I like Trump Vacheron watch, but not the Patek Eclipse. Ellipse, which is the kind of ovular Patek. Hot garbage Trump watches. Zoel says, if Kamala wins, no money, no watches, no swag. Yeah, I mean, No says, if Trump doesn't win, I'm going to drop a Seiko in some soup. I'm gonna drown my Seiko in some freaking soup, bro. Bala says green. PK says green. Jean Cartier says green. Ace 2021 says green. I need to know. Bala says green again. Okay, so J Trump, how many $100,000 Trump watches have sold? All of them, apparently. Apparently, they sold all of them. Zoal says green. I assume that's the green you mean. So I'm going to blow your guys' mind. That was my personal Alpinist that I sold. I know. The shock. Everyone's clutching their pearls. But there's a reason for it. I'm going to buy another one. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, was yours broken? Was there something wrong with it? No, it wasn't broken. There wasn't anything wrong with it other than it was given to me by my ex. And I purged every watch that she ever gave me, except that one, because I was like, man, I love my Alpinist. But then I was you know what? I don't really care about this watch, and I'm the person that I'm with, we are progressing in our life, talking about starting a family and stuff, and I don't want anything pertaining to that. So I just got rid of it, and I'm gonna buy another one. So anyway, that's my little peek behind the curtain there. Let me see. At least plywood is selling well. I know, dude. It's crazy. People are taking precautions, because they think that things are gonna get very, 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 very bad. So, who knows? Ace 2021. He said alpinist. Can't spell alpinist without penis. Wait a minute. So yeah, I don't know how accurate this is, by the way. I definitely don't know how accurate this projection was from ChatGPT. I think it sounds reasonable. One seems to value manufacturing, economic stimulus, tax cuts. The other one favors progressive taxation, sustainability, and environmentalism. We can see how both of those hypotheticals would affect change down the line. One would give people more money in their pockets and increase luxury spending. and then the other, hypothetically, would increase taxes, help lower income, which don't typically buy into the watch market. And it's, you know, we'll see what happens, right, guys? So I have 3 more segments that I am doing today over on the other channel, Everything is Gay. I'm gonna, you know what? I just realized that I always forget this. I can chat here. YouTube.com/@ can we use that word? So I'm going to be going over there. That's my other channel. I do 3 streams a day, Monday through Thursday on that channel. And then Friday we do a Patreon exclusive. And I've been doing actually daily Patreon posts on my Patreon for that channel. It's a whole lot of fun, and I would really love to see you guys over there. So I'm going to go prepare for my next stream on the other channel, and I will see you there. I hope you guys join me. All right, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time.